Imagine you are the absolute GOAT of the entire universe. The top 1 player on the server. Holding a magical stick that can grow or shrink on command. Get your mind out of the gutter. And rocking golden armor that costs more than a small country's GDP. You are out here, spawn camping gods and demons. Living your best life. But suddenly, the server admins, let's call them Celestial Management, decide you are way too overpowered, and you're ruining the game balance. So, what do? They hit you with a permaban. Delete your account. Strip your legendary skins. Wipe your memory. And yeet you down to the trash tier server called Earth as a level 1 noob. Welcome to the story of mythology's most chaotic monkey. But in a version so dark and twisted it makes Game of Thrones look like a kid's show. Grab your snacks and hydrate. Because we are about to speedrun farming XP from zero. Let's get into it. The movie kicks off in heaven. Which honestly looks less like paradise and more like a toxic corporate office where HR is run by demons in suits. Our hero, the great sage, let's call him the Mun, discovered that the gods aren't exactly the good guys. Turns out, they are manipulating mortal destinies and using souls as currency, basically crypto. But with dead people. The Mun, being the ultimate anti-establishment rebel, decides to leak the DMs and expose his celestial pyramid scheme. He grabs his staff and starts throwing hands, trying to crash the server. But management plays dirty. Buddha, who is basically the CEO, steps in and uses his Buddha palm, an attack that is literally a giant hand falling from the sky, and smashes our boy into the pavement. GGWP. The Mun gets sealed, nerfed, lobotomized, and dropped onto Earth like a bad mixtape. Fast forward a few centuries, or years. Time is weird in these movies. We are at the Mount of No Laws, which is basically the Gotham City slums of Chinese mythology. It's dirty, dangerous, and full of monsters who got rejected from society. Here we find our protagonist. But he isn't the Monkey King anymore. Now he goes by Walker. And folks, it's tragic. He's a broke boy. A total scrub living off petty scams. Tricking other low-level demons just to get a piece of stale bread. He has the charisma of a wet sock and the memory of a goldfish. He remembers nothing of his glorious past. Just having weird fever dreams where he sees himself flying on a cloud and being the main character. Walker's miserable life changes when he meets Fox Waifu. She's a fox demon. But unlike the other aggressive NPCs in this zone, she actually passes the vibe check. She has that I believe in justice and want to save the world energy, which, in this neighborhood, is basically a death wish. Fox Waifu is on a quest. She's looking for the legendary golden headband, an artifact that can supposedly free the demons from celestial oppression, but also doubles as an explosive dog collar if it falls into the wrong hands. She sees something in Walker. Maybe it's the smell of potential, or maybe just the smell of unwashed monkey. But she decides to team up. Walker, initially, just wants to rob her and dip. But her kindness, and let's be real, she's a baddie, convinces him to help. He basically becomes her personal simp. But every story needs a villain that makes you want to punch your screen. Enter Grandpa Botox. This old guy has an impeccable white beard and pretends to be a saint who descended to help the poor demons. He walks around handing out magic spiritual pills that promise ascension. Plot twist. Bang, the pills are straight up drugs. It's a celestial Ponzi scheme. Whoever takes them gets addicted, loses their free will, and turns into an obedient zombie. While Grandpa Botox sucks out their life force to stay young and powerful. He's literally farming the demons like minions in a MOBA. Walker and Fox Waifu discover Grandpa Botox's secret lab, which is, surprise surprise, a giant soul furnace. They see their friends being turned into human batteries. Walker's hero blood starts to boil. But there's a small problem, he is still level 1. He tries to fight the villain's goons and gets absolutely folded. It's humiliating. He gets thrown into walls, stomped on, and disrespected. The guy gets stun locked so hard he can't even breathe. Watching the former Monkey King get treated like a side character is painful. Chat. It's pure cringe seeing him this week, in the most critical moment, when Walker is about to get sent to the lobby permanently. Fox Waifu sacrifices her own vital energy to protect him and drags him to an ancient cave, the ruins of the Flower Fruit Mountain. There, amidst the rubble, Walker starts having violent flashbacks. He sees himself fighting armies, challenging the heavens, being the biggest badass in history. Fox Waifu drops the truth bomb: "You aren't some random NPC. You are the great sage. Heaven's equal. Wake up, you stupid monkey." Meanwhile, Grandpa Botox, who turns out to be working for Heaven, wow, didn't see that coming, captures Fox Waifu to use her in a final ritual. He wants to activate the dark version of the golden headband to create an army of brainless super soldiers and dominate the three realms. Walker, realizing his crush got kidnapped, goes full berserk mode. No more games, and here is where the magic happens. Walker looks at his reflection in a puddle and finally accepts who he is. It's not hatred that wakes him up, it's the will to protect. He finds a rusty piece of his old staff buried in the dirt. As soon as he touches it, boom, the sky turns black, lightning strikes, and the epic orchestral music kicks in. The rust shatters, revealing the shining gold underneath. His hobo clothes rip apart, and the legendary armor materializes, complete with the red cape flowing in the wind. The Monkey King has reconnected to the server, and he is here to hand out bands to everyone. The climax goes down at Grandpa Botox's temple. The villain is about to sacrifice the girl when the ceiling collapses. The monk makes a superhero landing, creating a shockwave that sends the goons flying into the next zip code. Grandpa Botox turns pale. "Impossible. You were nerfed." He screams. The monk doesn't even answer, he just smiles with that psychotic grin we all love and starts spinning his staff. The final fight is absolute cinema. Grandpa Botox swallows all his pills at once and transforms into a giant monster, looking like a Dark Souls boss on steroids. But the monk is in his prime now. He uses his clone jutsu, creating hundreds of copies himself. It's a beatdown. The villain tries to use magic, but the monk has maxed out magic resistance. He grows his staff to the size of a skyscraper and bonks the villain on the head so hard it probably reset his Windows operating system. It's a total skill gap. The monk is playing 4D chess while the villain is playing checkers, but because we can't have nice things, the villain has a trump card. The golden headband is linked to Fox Waifu's life force. If the villain dies or if the headband is destroyed by force, she dies too. The villain laughs. Bleeding on the floor. Choose. Monkey. The power or the girl? It's the classic toxic ultimatum. The monk freezes. He looks at Fox Waifu, who is in agony. He realizes the golden headband isn't a blessing, it's a curse created by Heaven to control him. In a moment of pure madness and bravery, the monk doesn't attack the villain. He turns the staff against his own head. He decides to break the spiritual link by destroying his own divine essence that connects him to the headband. With a scream that echoes through the universe, he smashes the staff into his own skull, shattering the headband and his own godhood. The explosion of energy disintegrates the villain and frees the girl, but the price was steep. The golden armor turns to dust. The monk falls into Fox Waifu's arms, reverting to his normal form, weak and dying. It's a tearjerker. Guys. He touches her face and says something like, "Don't cry. I'm just gonna take a nap." His body starts to petrify, turning into a stone statue on top of the mountain, eternally looking at the horizon. The movie ends with Fox Waifu, now free and leading the surviving demons, sitting next to the stone statue, telling him stories. She knows he didn't really die. He's just AFK, away from keyboard, waiting for the right moment to wake up and flip the heavens upside down one more time. In summary, this movie is an emotional roller coaster. It starts as a comedy about a loser scammer and ends as an epic tragedy. The visual effects are lit, the action is frantic, and the message about corruption and sacrifice hits hard. It teaches us that you don't need golden armor to be a hero, but it definitely helps when you need to beat up evil old men. What about you guys? What did you think of this bittersweet ending? Do you think the monk made the right call sacrificing his rank for the girl? Or was he being too much of a simp? Personally, I think it was pure king energy. Drop your opinions in the comments. I want to see the debate get spicy. If you enjoyed this high energy recap, do me a solid, smash that like button like the Monkey King's staff. Subscribe to the channel for more top tier content. And hit the bell so you don't miss a thing. I'm gonna go find a stick in my backyard and practice my spins. Stay safe and see you in the next one. Peace.